What is up, everyone? Bo here from BZ Hub, bringing you the 7th edition of BZ News, trying to get you the most important things from our stream here on this Tuesday, July 9th of 2019. Had some pretty interesting things thrown into the mix, which was kind of cool because we thought it was just going to be a showing of Moose, but they kind of gave hints to other things as well as just flat out telling us some things. So let's get into it. First off, here at right at the beginning, really, 9 minutes in, there was a mention of some things Cecilia, the 3D modeler, has been working on, including the models and the true racks, but there was also a quick mention of outfits.
Then Cecilia, who's making the animals and the outfits and all the true rack stuff, she's like, okay, I just gotta do them by hand.
I tried to do some Google searching on 3D models to see if there was any sort of technical term for, outfits or something like that, but I couldn't find anything on it. I could be overlooking something. Maybe some of you know something I don't about the outfit. Maybe it's a texture or a wraparound sort of thing. Maybe that is the case, but who knows? Also, about 27 minutes in, we're seeing that there is an abnormal time feature. Now, they talked about this later on in their stream, but basically right now it seems to be they mentioned that it was kind of a cheat thing to check the tines and see if there's anything abnormal about them. Now, when you're talking about scoring whitetail or something like that, non-typical kind of drop tines and stuff will count against you for a symmetrical score. So, in a way, this kind of makes sense, but I kind of wonder if this is the beginning of, a throw-in to non-typical antlers. That was one big thing that they added into the Hunter Classic, and it was something that a lot of people enjoyed seeing, and I'd like to hear more about that. So that's something to look forward to for sure. 31 minutes in, they did mention that there was going to be an overhaul in the animal scoring. They were wanting to do something different. Not sure how much that'll go into. They did go into a little detail in their stream.
We are also aiming at doing an overhaul of animal scoring. I'm not going to go into more detail than that. We've teased it a couple of times now. This is all based on the feedback that you have given us. So things like the consecutive harvest bonus, or like frustrating things when it comes to scoring, or not exactly understanding like how do I get to a diamond score. Yeah. So these will all things that be tackled with a bigger focus.
So I'm guessing that will be over in the future. They mentioned a few different things about what they have in the future, this release of the Moose, and then an update, and then they just want to do some quality of life fixes, which was kind of a big thing. They mentioned about 35 minutes in that they did have an animal they were wanting to release, and they were working on that as well. So I'm interested to see what that is. I'm guessing it's got to be something for the Yukon map, since this whole thing seems to be about the Yukon map. I don't see them adding something to another map. So just like Zaggy and I had been talking about the other day, this might be something where it could be either a Doll Sheep or a ptarmigan, two different things that would be great on the Yukon map, as we haven't really had any birds taking up off the ground, like a pheasant or something would. And that would be really cool to have in the Yukon map, just something of a change of pace, really. Looking into the true horns, they mentioned true horns being something they wanted to add in by a request during the stream. They did say that they wanted to work on antlers pretty much at this moment, and so they've been working on caribou and moose and whitetail deer and elk and all that, which the deer and the elk aren't on multiple maps, but the moose and the caribou are going to be both on Medved and Yukon Valley, so those kind of carry over. I think in the future they did mention that the palm feature of the moose, getting that to work in the true racks is going to be very helpful for follow deer, which I think is going to be really cool. So I think we'll be seeing things shift over. Red deer will probably be something next, since it's on multiple maps, and then follow deer will probably follow in the Hirschfelden Reserve as well. They did mention that something they were working on was new and improved animations for the grizzly bear. That was something that kind of sounded interesting. I'm not sure. I can't really think of anything in my mind, but maybe down in the comments you can say things you've seen from these bears that they might be doing weird. Who knows? Maybe they're trying to catch fish or something. That would be pretty cool. They did say that those animations would carry over for the black bears and brown bears as well, so that'll be interesting to see. Here we have a close-up of all the TRUMOOSE as they were kind of flying over, trying to show some variation though with these moose. It was kind of hard. The things I was really seeing was, you know, those front tines, which would be kind of the paddles on a caribou. Those seem to be a little bit more different in comparison to each and every moose. And then, of course, something that came up which was really cool was this diamond moose here about 46 minutes in. And at the time, we weren't sure if it was a diamond, but looking at it, I mean, that thing was amazing. And it certainly looked like it would be a diamond. And then after spotting it with the binoculars, we were definitely able to see it was level 5. And Matt had some fun trying to get it to go down. If you watch the stream, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they finally got it down, and it did score 999. A diamond moose, which is pretty amazing. It's almost amazing that it didn't score 1,000, but that's the TruRack right there, just getting 1 point of difference, which it's really cool on a stream to be seeing, you know, what our goal is going to be when this TRUMOOSE comes out, and that's going to be really neat. There were a couple of moments where there were mega burns towards our friend Zaggy DK, the man, the myth, the legend.
I'm a bit afraid, like I have some nightmares every now and then. I can see like Zaggy running after me, like he wants to come for me, but he's so buff and he's so worked out now that I'm like, oh my god, he's too fast. I can't. So I don't know.
I thought you were going the other way, where you had a dream about him running after you, and then you realized he was running after you, so you realized it was a dream. And you woke up.
As well as Matt himself.
What's the weapon you perform worst with in the game?
Rifles.
Yeah? All rifles?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, after seeing your bow shots, it's almost hard to believe.
And those were fun, but I think something else that's really cool, and this is kind of on track with the new animal as well as the abnormal tines they mentioned. Something they did mention at the end of the stream was a big dream that they have for Vurhonga.
An African map, but there's also a huge thing that we didn't do with it, which is still outstanding, which is a bit of a dream thing to do.
Yeah.
Nobody will know what I'm talking about. I know.
Now, thinking about animals and, you know, as they were talking about animals being added to the game, the only thing I can really think of as a big dream going into Vurhonga would have to be our friend, the elephants. I mean, when you think of Africa, you're thinking of lions, and you're thinking of elephants, and they talk about a big dream for Vurhonga, and something that has been a huge just part of history hunting in Africa would have to be our friends with the tusks. Now in real life I would never try to go after one of these things. They are amazing animals, and I do know that they cause a lot of damage to villages, so I understand the different things they try to do with the beehives and getting them to move out of the way, and I understand that you have to go to critical lengths at some points, you know, if you have a rogue elephant or something like that, but having one of these in the game, herds of elephants traveling across Vurhonga would be amazing, and as long as they're digital animals, I'm fine with it. They are going to look amazing in our trophy lodge, and I'm looking forward. If it's a year out, it's a year out, but I'm really looking forward to seeing our big Ellie friends wandering around in the savannah. So that is it for BZNews number 7. Boy, we're at number 7. That's pretty crazy. We've been doing this for a little while, and I know I'm trying to put out new videos, and I'm adjusting to a new life and a new house, and I'm not even done decorating my office, and it's just craziness going on. But if you did like the video, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new to this. And I have some things in the works. I have a routine video coming out which is going to show what I try to do when I hop multiplayer servers, the spots I try to hit before moving on to another server, as well as new tripod and tree stand locations coming out soon. So hit that subscribe button if that interests you at all. As always, hunters, keep hunting, never stop. P.S. Check me out on Twitch. See ya!